Okay, welcome to our first flipped video. The first lesson we're going to flip, or you're going to learn at home with, is 11.2 in your math book, which if you're following along, you can find on page 278. So 11.2 is all about multiplying fractions and whole numbers. We're going to use two different sort of questions to let us know to multiply fractions. First one being fraction of, and you'll see that in a second, or if we need repeated addition, which is what we normally use multiplication for. Let's take a look at a fraction of problem. Emily has 6 eggs. She needs 2/3 of those eggs for a recipe. How many eggs does she need? So, as you see in our word problem, we have two numbers. We have a whole number, and we have a fraction. We're going to multiply those two together to get our answer. If we break it down, what we're really asking is, what is 2/3 of 6? I'm going to show you how to find this out using a picture first. We're going to take our denominator, which is 3, and draw 3 circles. Because 3, remember, denominators mean the whole. How many wholes do we have in this fraction? The number we're looking for is 6. So I'm going to fill these circles up with 1 at a time until I reach my number of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now I have my whole number totally accounted for. I take a look at my numerator, and it wants 2 out of the 3. I would count up my tallies. 1, 2, 3, 4. I would need 4 eggs for the recipe. 2/3 of 6 equals 4. Here's one more way of looking at that. The word of gives us a clue to multiply. I can multiply 2/3 by 6. We know by using fractions to change a whole number to a fraction, all we have to do is put it over magic number 1, and we can just multiply. The great thing about multiplying fractions is you do not need a common denominator. I hope you're cheering. No common denominators. We can just multiply straight across. 2 times 6 equals 12. And we can also multiply straight across the bottom. 3 times 1 equals 3. Well, you might say that doesn't look like this, or it will in a second. We know we cannot leave an improper fraction. Remember, improper fraction is when the numerator is larger than the denominator. We divide to simplify. How many times does 3 go into 12? 4. 4 times 3 is 12. Nothing left over. My answer is the whole number 4. Now it matches. 4, 4. I'll add my label. 4 eggs. Time to practice. Got 1/7 of 14 and 3/7 of 14. Now, we're not going to do the picture. We're just going to multiply. We're going to replace the word of with multiplication. We're going to rename our whole number as a fraction, 14 over 1. I can multiply straight across. 1 times 14 is 14. 7 times 1 is 7. We're going to divide to simplify. 7 into 14 is 2. 2 is my answer. 1/7 of 14 equals 2. Now, 3/7 of 14. We're going to follow the same procedure. 3/7, we're going to replace of with multiplication, and 14. Rename it as over 1. 3 times 14. Give me a minute to figure that out. 7 times 1 is 7. We're going to divide to rename. 7 goes into 42 6 times. 6 times 7 is 42. With no remainder, my answer is a whole number. 3/7 of 14 is 6. If you're quick with your multiplication facts, you notice that all we really did is divide 14 by 7 to get 2, multiplied it by my numerator, 2. Here we divided 14 by 7 to get 2, multiplied it by 3 to get 6. Very simple. We can also use multiplication in a repeated addition scenario. If a recipe for punch calls for 3/4 cups of orange juice, Janet wants to make 8 batches of punch. How much orange juice is needed? So we could repeat addition, 3/4, 3/4, 3/4, 3/4, 3/4, 3/4, 3/4, 3/4. We have a common denominator, which is 4. Then we can add 3 8 times. 3 plus 3 is 6, plus 3 is 9, plus 3 is 12, plus 3 is 15, plus 3 is 18, plus 3 is 21, plus 3 is 24. Or, more simply, we can just multiply, as we've been doing. Rename my whole number as a fraction by putting it over 1. Multiply straight across. 3 times 8 is 24. 4 times 1 is 4. We can divide to rename to get 6. 3/4 times 8 equals 6. I'm going to give you a chance to practice with this as well. I have 1/5 times 25. Rename by putting it over 1. 1 times 25 is 25. 5 times 1 is 5. This is an improper fraction. I would divide to rename, getting the whole number 5. 1/5 times 25 is 5. Now we have 4/5 times 25. Again, rename the whole number as a fraction by putting it over 1 and multiply straight across. 4 times 25 is 100. 5 times 1, of course, is 5. I would divide to rename. 5 goes into 100 20 times. My answer would be 20. Another room. Okay, what I would like you to do, I'd like you to practice one more time. I have 1/4 of 40, and I also have for you 12 times 2/3. I'd like you to pause the video, work out the 2 problems, and send me the answer in a message here on Edmodo. So pause the video, try it, send me